Hey, it's Doug with an opportunity to talk with a driver who is going to be racing around the streets of Nashville coming up in August. We're talking about the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix, the IndyCar event that races cars through the streets of downtown Nashville, upwards of 200 miles an hour, fast-paced racing over 3 days. I know you're going to come out August 4th, 5th, and 6th. Racing, music, food, and more. And number 77 is our guest, Callum Ilot. Thank you so much for making time.
No problem at all. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'll just fully confess, I'm not a deep car fan. I mean, I enjoy watching it, but I haven't gotten into all the nitty gritty. So it was fascinating to do some research. You are quite the wunderkind, I guess, here with so much success at such a young age. Give people a little bit of a background for how long you've been doing this. Since you were born, it sounds like.
No, not that far. So I'm from the UK. I started when I was 7 years old in go-karts and yeah, went through the ranks in Europe. I raced in Formula 3, Formula 2, did a bit of Formula 1 test and reserve stuff, and then didn't quite make it into Formula 1, so I got an opportunity in the States in IndyCar, and yeah, that's taken me to this point. I've had a little bit of success in a few different things, but yeah, IndyCar is my path now, and I'm enjoying what the States has to offer.
Well, and I encourage everybody to check out your website because it's kind of cool as you see the different progressions of you over the years. I think you've got that picture up there of like when you're seven and then in your
Yeah,
teens and everything. That's fun.
I probably need to update it a little. I don't think I've done much for a year or two, but yeah, no, it's cool. You know, obviously as a driver, you have to do all that modern day technology stuff, I guess.
Well, and you raced in this in Music City last year, correct?
Yeah, I had a bit of a tough time last year. Nashville, it's always a complicated race, shall we say. It's very chaotic. We have lots of safety cars, stuff like that, and I got caught up in the middle of it. So I managed to survive to the end, but finished like 14th. But it wasn't really going our way for most of it.
So you're looking forward to coming back. Aside from the racing part of it, were you able to see or explore anything related to Nashville?
Yeah, I'm looking forward. It's a great city. Obviously with the music, the bar side of things. I mean, we're professionals, so we're not looking too far into that. Maybe Sunday night after the race. But it looks like a great fun city. Lots of things always happening. Lots of events, and yeah, walking down that street. I mean, there's all different types of music. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, for the casual fan that fully doesn't understand, talk about some of the preparation that goes into what you do mentally and physically to get behind the wheel.
Yeah, obviously it's many years in the making and experience in different types of cars. IndyCar's unique in the sense that you're doing road course, street circuits, and ovals. On the ovals, we're reaching speeds of 240 miles an hour. Around Nashville, for example, maybe 180. It's a bit of a different package, but because we're driving across all these different types of tracks, we have to be quite versatile. So we're using simulators. We get a little bit of opportunity to test on some of the tracks, not the street courses, because obviously they're kind of made for the weekends, and then very quickly afterwards, it's put back to a normal city. But yeah, we you know the simulator stuff is a big thing for IndyCar, a big thing for motorsports in general now. And then outside of that, obviously we're in the gym, we're training. Our races can be anywhere from an hour and 45 minutes to, I think, maybe the first time they went to Nashville, it was close to 4 hours because of the amount of crashes and stuff going on. So it's quite long, intense. Yeah, not easy. It gets super hot in the car. Obviously, I'm from Europe, so I use Celsius, and I won't be able to translate it into Fahrenheit. But yeah, it gets super hot. It's like a sauna in there for us. So um, it's a unique sport in many ways. The preparation is maybe not as intense as triathlon or something like that, but it's challenging in its own ways.
Well, and obviously it takes a village, right? So you're in radio communication with your team. You've got the pit stops. You've got the whole crew thing. So you're the guy in the car, but it's far from just a one-man show.
Yeah, I mean they make it all happen. So whether it's strategy, whether it's the pit stops, whether it's the engineers who set up the car, you've got a whole different group of people all working to give you the best performance possible. Yes, at the end of the day, you're the one that makes the final difference, but it's a big team effort. A lot of financials go into it as well, and yeah, that's it's what makes it quite a spectacle. There's so much effort that gets put into these things.
Well, you've had a chance certainly over the years to see a lot of the United States. Is there a particular city or track that is your sweet spot or favorite?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, track wise, obviously the 500, Indy 500 is a massive event for us. That's pretty impressive, and I live very close to the track. Outside of that, I like the track at Iowa, the short oval that we do, which is good fun for racing wise. Not much else going on outside of that, I have to say. It's a bit remote. Long Beach, in LA, that was good fun. St. Pete and St. Petersburg, Florida, that was good. Yeah, there's a good mix. It's nice to kind of travel around and get to see it. I think if I'm gonna get the full experience, I've got to buy one of those RVs and drive around the country.
Now, do you still get back for races in Europe or other parts of the world, or are you pretty much focused in the States?
I'm fully committed on the States, so yeah, I've been here now almost 2 years. Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be a long foreseeable future out here. I do get back in the winter, but I'm not really doing any racing in Europe. I'll see what kind of opportunities come about, but it's pretty much guaranteed my future's going to be out here for a while.
And how many years you think you want to do this?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm 24 right now. Uh, Probably 6+ years. I'm gonna start looking at getting a family and all of that stuff, and then maybe I'll review my life choices at that point. More important things come into the world, I guess, than driving in oddly shaped circles in fast speeds. But yeah, no. Look, I don't know. Quite a few more, that's for sure.
Very cool. Very cool. So what's the camaraderie like? What's do you guys all get along? I mean, I know you've got your rivalries and your competition, but it's a unique class. All the drivers, there's very few in the whole country that do what you do.
Yeah, mostly we get along. It's all good fun in a certain way. Everyone's obviously professional and pushing for the best result they can get. But it was an interesting experience for me coming from Europe because during the 3 weeks around the 500, you're all staying in RVs all together. So there's about 30 of us who stay there overnight, and it's good fun to have some beers, share some stories and that for 3 weeks. But yeah, outside of that, of course, there's always some little pushing and shoving that goes along. But no, if from what I've seen so far, it's good because at the end of the day, we all have respect for each other. Can all have a laugh. But yeah, once you head out on track, it does get very competitive, should we say?
Well, I know definitely everybody looking forward to it August 4th, 5th, and 6th. I remember last year, just having been here in Nashville for the last 25 years, just seeing our city on display is just so beautiful. The aerial shots, and when you guys come across the bridge and come across the river, it really puts Nashville on the national spotlight. So as a city, I think we're pretty cool to have that connection.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It does, it helps IndyCar and it helps the city. I think the UFC fights are on as well on Saturday night, that weekend. So if anyone else wants to go and see something a bit different to some cars driving around the track, they can do that. But yeah, no, it's great to kind of share the love and introduce people to our side, IndyCar, and also to let the teams and fans enjoy what the city has to offer, as well.
Excellent. Any other thing that you'd want to share about the race or anything you're looking forward to? Otherwise, I think we did good.
Look, it's I have to say it's always a chaotic race for us, so it can be very entertaining, at our expense, to be fair. But no, it's great. It's what the challenge is about, and going there, it's always going to be a tough one, and you just have to kind of survive it. But it's a tight, really bumpy circuit, which just adds to the technicality of it. So yeah, come watch us August 4th, 5th, 6th.
Well, and I'm hoping that the city goes behind you and fills in any of the potholes. I know as
Oh, they do a
Local-
good job of that. It's just you know we run so close to the ground that any little bump, it you can feel every little bit that track has to offer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for the time. This has been great. I appreciate it.
No problem. Enjoy.
All right.
Have a good week.